Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, we are a minimalist family who is living big with less, and today we are going to talk about all things closet decluttering, especially if you are like me and have children. I'm going to go through a little bit about how we stay on top of our closets, and more importantly, how I break that down into bite-sized jobs that won't take a whole day but will take 15 minutes or less. Today, guys, I am going to walk you through how I declutter our closets, how I swap things out for seasons. So when there's a season change right here, we're about to move from summer to winter. We really only have 2 seasons here, but I'm going to show you how I do that and how I've got that process down to less than 15 minutes. But if you are at the start of your minimalist journey, it can seem really overwhelming and maybe like a whole day task for you to go through your wardrobe. And so I want to break this down for you into small, manageable chunks that will take 15 minutes or less. So my first tip for bite-sizing your closet declutter is to start with a whole heap of clean laundry. Make sure that you've got everything put away, because the things that you wear most of the time are usually in the laundry. So if they're back in your closet, that's going to make your overall view of the clothes that you have for either yourself or your kids much easier to manage. You'll be able to visualize those outfits that you're wearing all the time. Whereas if they're not there in your closet, it's much harder to gauge how many clothes you really have. My second tip is to break down by type. So whatever type of clothes you wear the most of, if that's suits and business attire, if that is like me, jeans and t-shirts, break it down to one type. Commit to breaking all of your t-shirts down in one go. This means that you can just go through in just a couple of minutes. You don't have to pull everything out of your closet, and it's really attainable. I am a busy mom, and so I don't have all day uninterrupted to go through my closet. I would definitely get interrupted and have to leave it at some point. So by breaking it down, by like just going through my t-shirts, I can find 10 or 15 minutes to do that, and then that job is completed. I'm not left with a mess. I can donate what needs to be donated. I can section it all out to go to the correct place, and then be happy with whatever is left in my closet. Number 3 is to use your laundry as your catchment for your clothes. So especially for children who are constantly growing out of clothes, they're also more likely to rip some jeans or get a stain on their clothes that's impossible to get out. And so I use my laundry as a catchment. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of clothes that you have, this is a great place to start. You don't have to do any other decluttering aside from committing to getting rid of things that as they come through the laundry, you're going to catch them and either turn them into rags, donate them, or pass them on, or put them away for the next child. But at least they're getting out of your usual laundry cycle and where they need to be. Number 4 is create a system to help you work out exactly what you're wearing. You've probably heard of this before. You can go through and turn all of your coat hangers the other way. I personally don't like that. I find it a little bit fiddly, or you could use different colored coat hangers, that sort of thing. I am a super simple girl, and so for me, and I don't section out my clothes by type. I really don't have a big enough wardrobe for that to be necessary, but this will still work even if you do have a closet that's got, you know, your jeans and your t-shirts separated. But what I do is I push all of my clothes to the left, and all the new things going back into my wardrobe go on the right hand side, and then I just pick out from whatever, but all this, so as I'm going through to declutter, I know that all the stuff that's on that far left side is being used way less or is out of my rotation completely. And I do this with my kids as well. I just push their clothes to one side and always put the new clean clothes on the right side, so I can see if there's clothes that they're favoring or clothes that they really don't want to wear. And so that is a great simple thing you can do today. It'll take you less than 15 minutes to just push everything to one side and commit to putting the clean stuff on one side so that over the next couple of months you can start to see what you're really wearing. What I'm going to do now is I actually just recently went through and swapped out our clothes for moving from our summer type clothes to our winter type clothes. We live in a very mild climate, so I know that this change is not as big for us as it is for some of you that live where there's snow and then a really intense summer as well. But this will give you an idea of how, once your wardrobes are pared down, how quickly you can make these changes, how you can swap out a whole wardrobe, and how you can teach your kids how to declutter their own clothes and pick out what they love. So guys, I hope that you guys enjoy seeing how we get it done. So the first thing I like to do is go through the box of clothes so I can get out any items that I'm going to reintroduce back into their wardrobes. This gives me a clear picture of how many new things they have entering their wardrobe, and I know exactly how many of the things that are currently there I need to keep or what I can afford to get rid of. I'm also looking at sizes and what they'll be growing into over the next couple of months. I'm really picky about the clothes that I decide to hold on for kids to grow into. I make sure that they are of the best quality, that they suit my kids' style, and that there's no rips, tears, or stains. Now I'm just moving through what's existing in their wardrobe. I try and do this as quickly as possible. I'm just working through anything that's obviously the next size down, anything I've noticed they haven't been wearing, or anything I've noticed that I'm going to be reintroducing new clothes for. I let the old stuff go, and then I decide whether I'm going to keep any of it to pass on down or whether it's ready to be donated for someone else to enjoy. With my older kids, I actually encourage them to do the decluttering themselves. So what I will do is I will sit down and do the process with them, but I will let them touch all the pieces of clothing, which is really important in the decluttering process, and also let them make all the final decisions. I'm just there to ask them questions and to push them if there's some items that I think might be ready to go, but the final decision always lays with them. I also get them to work from the side that they use the least often to the side that they use the most often, and that way they can sort of get into the process of thinking about those things that they're wearing less of the time. This is the end result, guys. With this type of decluttering, I find that you don't get those dramatic before and afters, but please consider these piles as your victory. So for me, I've broken it down into 3 piles, which is this back one is clothes that the kids have currently grown into, and so these are going straight into their closets. This pile is stuff that they've grown out of and I no longer have another little one to grow into it, so those will be donated or passed on to a friend. And these ones are clothes that one of the girls has grown out of, but I'm going to hold on to it for another little girl to grow into, and I'm going to put these up into that box in the top of my cupboard till I'm ready to do this process again. So I find I try and limit my piles to 3 and at the most 4, and then if I need to keep it a little bit more general, this just makes it much easier for my brain to work it out. So if you guys are tackling your closets, I would absolutely love to see your declutter pile or your organized wardrobe. So please feel free to send me a message or tag me in your photos anytime, or even better, come and join our Facebook community at Small Changes. We would absolutely love to hear from you over there. We'd love to see your victories and cheer you on as a community of like-minded people who are really wanting to support and encourage each other. If you are new here, we would love to have you subscribe. Here are some other videos on similar topics that we think you might like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.